Season of the Witch is here. No, not that one, the other one. Yeah, there we go. And with it, we have 3 brand new Strand Aspects to sink our teeth into. I've fiddled around with all 3 at a fairly basic level, and today I'll be giving you my early thoughts on how strong exactly these are, and which new aspect I think is the best overall. First up, in the not bad, I could have fun with this tier, we have the Hunter Aspect Whirling Maelstrom. Destroying a tangle will weave a violent, writhing mass of strand fibers. The strand mass will seek out and damage nearby targets, emitting unraveling projectiles when it defeats them. Pretty straightforward. As long as you have a tangle on the field, shoot and break it, or throw it at an enemy, then watch as an angry green child freaks out, attacking anything nearby. It's kind of like watching a small blend of the Hulk and the Tasmanian Devil spinning around to wreck a room. The unraveling projectile part is nice because it can create more tangles, which you can then use to make another Whirling Maelstrom. The damage isn't insane or anything like that. I don't think it'll become meta in any upcoming raid or dungeon encounter, but it definitely will help you crowd control enemies in PvE more efficiently. If there were any season to take advantage of the new Hunter aspect, it is definitely this one. The seasonal artifact is straight up littered with armor mods that encourage tangle generation, including Thanatic Tangles, communal pickups, refreshing pickups, and elemental munitions. Season of the Witch? Nah, season of throwing a ton of random around the room. After the current season is over, Whirling Maelstrom will no doubt decline in usage a wee bit due to losing all that fun stuff on the artifact, but for right now, it's a fun way to bump up your ad clear game a little bit more. Gotta say though, rough competition on the Hunter for Strand Aspects. Bungie did give Suspend a big nerf in Season 22, but Ensnaring Slam is still a great way to handle almost any enemy in PvE. Widow's Silk is kind of the peanut butter to Ensnaring Slam's jelly, and Threaded Spectre is just good clean fun. You could probably go Threaded Spectre and Maelstrom for a fun crowd control build, but again, you'd have to give up Ensnaring Slam, which IMO kind of a big ask. If you're looking for an easy way to get tangles on the regular, by the way, try out Thread of Transmutation, Thread of Warding, and Harmonic Siphon. Get strand weapon multi-kills, make orbs, orbs give woven mail, kills with woven mail make tangles, easy. Moving on, we go a little bit up the ladder and reach the, damn, this is actually kind of crazy tier, featuring the new Warlock aspect, Weavewalk. Hit the dodge button when airborne to enter the weave, gaining damage resist from combatants and players. Reactivate your air dodge or drop your rift to exit the weave. While in the weave, you generate perched threadlings over time fairly quickly as well. This aspect is very unique and it has immediate big potential that you'll probably feel right away. Entering the weave basically means you enter kind of a phase walking state where you'll build up 5 threadlings very quickly. The amount of time you can spend in this state is directly tied to your melee charge. It'll repeatedly eat through every charge you have until you either end the trance manually or run out of melee charges. If you want to maximize your potential, you could use Claws of Ahamkara for a longer overall duration, but I'd probably rather recommend Eye of Another World. You'll get your melee charges back quicker, meaning you can weave walk more frequently. Let's talk about PvE and then we'll talk about PvP. For PvE, this is basically your oh crap panic button move. If you're in a situation where things are really hot and you're getting overwhelmed, enter the weave. Not only will you get a comically large amount of DR, more on that in a minute, but enemies basically won't be able to see you as well. I can only imagine how many future Warlock players are going to save a Grandmaster Nightfall run or raid encounter because they activated the Weavewalk panic button, got away, and managed to revive the rest of their team. And I mean, getting a ton of extra threadlings for free to deploy along with Weaver's Call is sort of icing on the cake. If at any point you find yourself with full melee charge, might as well pop it and get free extra threadlings to litter onto the field. I still do things in D2 like trying to solo flawless every dungeon and random difficult GM nightfalls because I don't value my sanity or my free time, and I look forward to weave cheesing my way through them with this aspect. On the PvP side, wow, this aspect is going to piss a ton of people off. Do you remember that incoming damage reduction factor I mentioned? Yeah, it's 90% incoming DR, meaning a high impact sniper that would normally do 158 damage to the body will only do 16 damage to a Warlock who is weave walking. Mao. I'm actually working on another video which I hope to get up today, what you can live through as a weave walker. Do me a favor and ring the notification bell on my channel so that you don't miss it. I'm gonna try to dive deep to find out exactly everything that you can tank while weave walking, but spoiler alert, It is a lot. Now, while you can't remain in weave mode forever, nor can you shoot in weave mode, by the way, it's still powerful enough where it's definitely going to be a new thing that you're going to have to worry about encountering in trials. If you're being pinned down by a hard-scoping sniper and you want to push out, no problem. Weavewalk out, laugh off the damage they tried to give you, and go join your fire team for a flank. It'll probably also lead to a lot of desperation plays where a near-dead Warlock hits the Weavewalk, shimmies around a corner, then drops a rift to send out a butt ton of worms to either turn the tide of a fight or avenge the Warlock's death. I've also had plenty of situations where an enemy was hitting me hard, I was about to die, I pop Weavewalker, the enemy is now literally unable to kill me, and a nearby teammate swoops in and cleans up the mess with a team shot. Either way, I'm super looking forward to experimenting with Weavewalk. I think it has high ceiling potential. If you're interested, let me know down in the comment section, by the way, and I'll try to put together a weave build for both PvE or PvP, whichever you want more. All right, now we move on to the what in the name of God was Bungie thinking tier, and in that category stands the Titan Aspect Banner of War. Defeat a target with a melee attack, a finisher, or a sword to raise a Banner of War that pulses with energy, periodically healing nearby allies and increasing melee and sword damage. Targets defeated by you and nearby allies charge the banner, increasing the speed of the pulse. A lot of text, let me break it down for you very simply. Titan players, you activate the banner by doing one of three things: a finisher, a sword kill, or a melee kill. When you've done that, a banner will protrude from your body and activate a not that small radius around you, about 15-ish meters, and you'll be able to see the vague green outline on the ground with every time it pulses. You and any other ally in the green circle, which again is attached to your body, get three things. 1, better melee damage. 2, better sword damage. 3, chunks of health with every pulse. Now, you might be thinking, extra sword damage? No thanks, not my style. Allow me to try and change your mind. Even if I never equipped a sword again until the day I died, I would still go to bat very hard for this Titan aspect. You see, at max banner power, the pulse you generate happens very frequently, and as I mentioned, every time it emits a pulse, you and nearby allies get a chunk of health. I know the in-game text on the aspect says that only allies get health, but yeah, you get it too. On top of that, the timer on that little green zone that you generate can be pumped up by you or any nearby ally via any kind of kill at all. Did an ally 10 feet from you just get an SMG kill on a random hive thrall? Congratulations, you just extended the timer on Banner of War. Are there no enemies in sight and you're worried that the timer will run out? Don't worry, because the timer maxes out at 30 seconds. With just one activation of Banner of War, which ain't hard, and a team that plays even somewhat near each other in any remotely ad-dense activity, that timer is going to ramp up to max duration immediately, and you're now looking at free near eternal health generation. It's not exactly a heavy stream like Warlock Radiant well, but good lord. At max power, the pulsing is really quick, the timer goes on for a long time, and it is dummy easy to maintain. It might require a melee kill or finisher to get going, but again, any weapon kill from you or a nearby ally will extend the timer. I don't want to ignore the extra damage output factor, by the way. If you're a sword lover, good news, you get an extra 10% weapon damage output from Banner of War, and if you're a melee happy guardian, you get an extra 40% melee damage, which is great. I tested it with a buddy of mine, and it would appear that yes, that 40% melee damage can stack with other melee heavy things like the Liar's Handshake. I have no doubt at all that the god tier PvE Salt de Grepo level sweatlords will find unimaginable ways to use this aspect to start backhanding dungeon bosses to death, all in due time. But for the rest of us out there who simply enjoy not dying in relatively challenging PvE content, Banner of War is so easy to activate and keep going, it's silly. I know we're only one day into the new season, but it actually seems so good that I would be amazed if we made it to the final shape without Banner of War getting some kind of adjustment. It does also work in PvP, by the way, but yeah, harder to activate. Basically either a power weapon kill with a sword or a melee kill. And while melee kills aren't hard to get or anything, I don't really see this popping off in PvP as hard as it definitely will in PvE. I don't know, might be good for some Iron Banner trolling though. Day 1 raiders, if you got multiple Titans on your team, try to convince one of them to go Banner of War and pump out that health regen on September 1st. Ring the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming content for Season of the Witch, and let me know your thoughts on these aspects down in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on stream.